G'day again. Almost finished actually this whole algebra topic for the Year 9 stuff anyway. But let's just have a look at binomial factors. Right, binomial. As you might be able to guess, bi, as opposed to, no, I won't go into that. Bi means 2 and nomial means a polynomial, okay? And I won't get into it, but a polynomial is just an algebraic expression. So what it means is that it's an algebraic expression with 2 terms, okay? It's got 2 terms. Okay, so something like 2x plus 3, that's got 2 terms to it, that's a binomial factor, okay? X minus 7, that's got 2 terms, x and negative 7, that's a binomial as well. So what we're talking about is simplifying expressions that have binomial factors, okay? So it's got a factor of 2x plus 3, or it's got a factor of x minus 7. What I'm going to do is go straight into an example. There's no better way to show this than by an example, okay? So let's get straight into it. Let's go. 5x plus 6 minus let's just say y x plus 6. Okay. So remember, when we're factorising, you're looking for things that are in common, okay, between the 2 terms. Is there anything in common between these 2 terms? So here's our first term here, and here's our second term here. Are there things that are in common between these? And in fact, yes, there is. What's in common? This x plus 6 in brackets is common between these 2. And so just because it's a binomial term doesn't mean you can't take it out as a common factor. Okay, so let's actually do this. Okay, so let's take out the front x plus 6 as the common factor. That's our common factor that we're taking out the front of the bracket. And let's think about what's left over. In this, what do we need to multiply x by 6 by to get 5 times x plus 6? I sort of said it in the answer there, but we need to multiply that by 5. 5 times x plus 6 is 5 brackets x plus 6. That's the same thing there. Quite simple. Here, what do we need to multiply x plus 6 by to get negative y bracket x plus 6? In fact, we need to multiply it by negative y, okay, whatever's out here. And so we close the bracket, x plus 6 was your common factor, and we just need to multiply it by 5, and then we also need to multiply it by negative y. And that is actually your answer, believe it or not. It's quite simple. So another example of that, and you'll just love how easy this is. 2x minus 9 plus p 2x minus 9, something like that. Again, your common factor is 2x minus 9. It's in both of your terms there. What's left over is just this negative 3 and this positive p. And that's your answer. Okay? So nice and simple. But it gets a little bit harder. And if you can do these, they take a bit more practice. Okay? This is called factorising by grouping, and you'll hear your 10s groan or feel scared by this, because this can be a little bit tricky. Okay, so let's just do straight into an example. Okay, an example might be x minus 3y plus ax minus 3ay. Okay, what we're looking to do to factorise this, if you look for a common factor here, you won't find any. What goes into x, that doesn't have any common factors there, that doesn't have any common factors, and so you can't actually take one thing out the front. But what you can do is you can group these together in 2 groups of 2. So we've got 4 terms here. What we can do is, let's say, what happens if we group this term here with this term here? What if we pair those 2 up? And what if we pair this negative 3y with this negative 3ay? And so what we're sort of looking for is, if I factorise this and this, if if I take out a common factor there, what will I be left with? And if I take out a common factor of this, what will I be left with? And that's what we're trying to figure out. And let me just do this, okay? So, as if you won't let me do it. So that is equal to, I'll just rewrite it as x plus ax. And then in blue we've got minus 3y minus 3ay. Okay, so let's have a look. Let's take out a common factor here. Common factor here is x. That goes into both of those. What's left over? X times what is equal to x. That's just 1. X times what is equal to positive ax. That's just plus a. Great. So there's that first thing. Now let's have a look at these blues. We've got negative 3y. What can we take out of there? We can take out negative 3, and we can also take out a y out of that. Okay, y is in both of these. So let's factorize out that. What do we have there? Negative 3y times what is equal to negative 3y? Well, that's just 1. 1 times all that rubbish. Negative 3y times what is equal to negative 3ay? Well, that's positive a. And this is exactly what we're trying to do. What you're trying to do is get the term, the binomial term inside the brackets to be the same. And that's what we've ended up with. And like in the previous examples, we can take 1 plus a out as a factor, and we've got x minus 3y left as our remainder. So you've factorised this into two separate brackets. Okay. So in summary, when you've got 4 terms looking like this, you can group them. So if you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, you could group them any number of ways. You can group those two together and those two together. That's one way you could group them and see what happens. Or you can group those two together and that one with that one and see what happens. And what's the other combination? You could go that one and this one together, and this one together. Okay, so you're just checking all the different groupings, putting them together, and what you're looking for is, if you factorize those groupings, will you get a common binomial term? Okay, it's a little bit tricky, but when you get them, it's quite satisfying. So let's just check another example. Let's just do one out of the textbook. 4x plus 12y minus xz minus 3yz. Okay, let's have a look at this. What we're going to do is have a look and see which two terms can I put together, and if I take out a common factor, will I get the same binomial thing left over inside the brackets. So 4x and 12y, there's nothing really in common. I could take out a 4 and I'd be left with x plus 3y. If I put those two together, if I take negative z out of there, out of these two terms here, I'd get negative, what am I taking out? Negative z, I'd be left with x plus 3y. In fact, that's what's going to happen, okay? So I'm going to put those two together and those two together. I'm going to group them in those two pairs, and what I've just done is just inspect them to see what happens if I take out a common factor. And in fact, I will get the x plus 3y as my binomial term if I factorise that and factorise that. Just to sort of go back a step, because you might have missed that. If you, let's say you factorise that and that, what's in common there? You could take out an x and you'd get 4 minus z. If you factorise this term and this term, and you took out like a 3y, that would also work actually. So if you paired up that one and that one together, that will also work. If you take out 3y, you'll get 4 minus z. So that will work as well. So let's just do that one since I've drawn it up. It just takes a bit of mucking around sometimes, okay? So I'll just write that out as 4x minus xz. There's actually two ways you can do this one. Plus 12y minus 3yz. Factorise this. Let's take out x from here, and we get 4 minus z. Is that right? 4x minus z, 4 minus z. And then we're going to take out 3y from here, so plus 3y. what will be left over? That needs to be multiplied by 4 to get 12y, and that will need to be minus z there to get that. And voila, we've got the two binomial terms here. So you write 4 minus z as your common factor. What's left over? X plus 3y. X plus 3y. They're a bit of fun. Give them a go. It takes a bit of mucking around sometimes. See if you can do it.